What it do, Tech File fam? Another week, another new episode of Tech File. We're going to get right at y'all after the intro music. Welcome to episode 320 of Technical File, the sports podcast you never knew you needed.
And it's your boy, TIMKINZ, the number 3, a.k.a. Ask Ketchum, a.k.a. Mr. Give It To Me. Talk to you proper this week. Talk to you fair.
I am the Eric J.
Only known as?
The Eric J.
And I'm Camille, point guard of the crew, the real life Tifa Lockhart, the girl next door. You know, holding it down for all the women who love sports.
And it's your boy, K. Harris, the gentleman.
The gentleman.
The everyday gentleman.
24/7.
That's about it for me.
We got to get you a third moniker, dog.
Because it don't flow right, B. I got to do something. I was going to say something outlandish, but I just left it alone.
Oh, boy.
You should have ran with it. See what we talking about.
Hey, don't get canceled like you. Never mind.
Oh,
all
Jesus.
Right. Let's get into some housekeeping before we get into the show itself. Proper as a reminder, please like, rate, review wherever you can on any audio version of the podcast, whether that's Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Drop those reviews. It helps us out a lot. And if you are watching on YouTube, subscribing, liking, hitting the notification button, it's very helpful for us. And listen, if you really support us, even just dropping a comment on the YouTube videos as you see them come up, liking the video, sharing them, helps us out tremendously. All the algorithms and all that stuff right there. So that's a free way for y'all to support the pod. And if you want to put some money in our pockets, we do have Tech File merch. So make sure that y'all hit up our Linktree link and get y'all some fresh merch for the holidays.
Absolutely. A great stocking stuffer.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Let's get into the topic discussions for the week. We didn't pre-discuss the game of these names, so I'm going to just roll right on over that. The NFL. Let's see. Let's cue up some douche instrumentals so we got the vibe in the background right.
This week? Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to be in mode today. We're going to be in mode. Tim, kick us off with NFL. What's on your bird from the last week, week 13 of the NFL season?
Let's see here. So, this year has been a year of what I call playing with house money. There's certain teams right now that's playing with house money. There are certain teams that are supposed to be in a year of rebuild, just trying to, figure out things. They have new coaches, they have new coordinators, they have new players, they have new systems in place where they're just trying to figure things out. Do we mesh well? Do we need to just start all the way over and tear it all down? So there's a couple teams here this year that's playing with house money, and I think that their fan bases, myself is included, is playing with a little bit of house money, and those it was Los Angeles Rams, the Green Bay Packers, the Houston Texans, and I felt like it was the Seattle Seahawks, but I can't confirm that last one. I'll confirm that one later. But I feel like these teams that were expecting to do a rebuild, like you have Jacksonville this year, they're 8-3. They're not expected to rebuild. They were actually expecting to be a good team, even though they haven't really been a good team. It was like, okay, we're expecting you guys to take the lead. Houston, no, not at all. They had the number 2 pick in the draft this year. They had and the number 3. Yeah, because I think him and Will Anderson was back to back. Houston wasn't expecting to be in no kind of playoff picture at all. Right now at 6-6, they're in the AFC wildcard picture. Green Bay, the way we started was like, okay, cool, yeah, hell yeah, we out here. And then all of a sudden there was a nice little streak where we was like, okay, we got some things to figure out. Like, okay, hold your horses. We are absolutely trying to figure things out this year. So Whatever we may get. But then all of a sudden now, you said what?
Oh no, I was gonna say like you were like we out here, and then there's a stretch where it's like, no, we inside.
Like we was all like, put the clothes away. We're gonna put the fit back in the closet real quick. We ain't gonna bring it out yet. But now the mug looking kind of nice out there. We'll go ahead and slide the closet door open real quick and look at it because we might go dancing. You know what I'm saying? We might be in the playoffs too. It was kind of unexpected, but the way things shook out in NFC North, Vikings, unfortunately, with Kirk Cousins, you have other NFC North teams that are, or not just the North, the NFC teams that are getting hurt. Teams that were expected to do well, they kind of like the Seahawks, for example. I honestly didn't expect the Seahawks. Like I wanted to put them there, but I expected them to do better based off how they played last year. Like they had a really good season last year. Geno actually have been looking good this year, so it's kind of weird to see where they are. But the teams that were expected to do the rebuild, the teams that were expecting to just go figure things out, and it is what it is. Now those teams are in the playoff hunt as well. So now I call it just, hey, we playing with house money right now. Whatever happened. Shit, like if we make the playoffs, cool. Hey, we good. We out there. We're gonna be talking our shit the whole way. And we don't make like, hey, we just trying to figure it out. You know, we got something at the quarterback spot. We got some holes to fill. So we can kind of play the fence on this one. I would just call it house money.
I feel it. And the thing about playing with house money is that when you play for house money for so long and you keep winning with house money, expectations then change for your squad because now people expect you to continue to do what you've been doing. And that's what I wanted to talk about this week with the Packers in particular. We just knocked off the Super Bowl champs at home, Sunday Night Football, only game on TV, and the Packers came in and they did their job and they beat the Chiefs by 8 points, 27-19 Green Bay.
Great googly moogly.
I'm telling you, we had a great game, against the Chargers, and then it's like, the sun was probably part of it, but it's like process looked good, but hey, they won. Then you go to Detroit on Thanksgiving, upset. You smacked Detroit. The final score makes it look closer than what it was, but like that was a whooping in Detroit. You follow that up with a Sunday Night Football win against the Chiefs.
I was gonna say, now even the Steelers game, they looked pretty good. Like they didn't win it, but like their process was a lot better. They looked a lot sharper. Just I feel like it was something fluky at the end that caused them to lose. But like they've been playing really well for the last month.
Yeah.
So with that, you look at it and you're like, okay, now the Packers are the 7th seed in the NFC. As we're recording this today, at 6-6, they are now the 7th seed in the NFC. And listen, that playoff race, Packers, Vikings, Rams, Seahawks, all going to be looking at that final 2 wild card spots. The Buccaneers and the Saints too, at another degree. And that's the piece that I really wanted to focus on. Is like, how will the Packers now perform now that people are jumping on the bandwagon of saying, hey, this is probably a playoff team. Hey, expecting things from you now. Hey, Jordan Love looking like the real guy now. Hey, look at the receivers. All these things are starting to click. It is not perfect. Do not get me wrong. But things are starting to click for this team. And when you look at their remaining schedule, especially when you compare it to the Vikings and the Seahawks and the Saints and the Bucks, they have the easiest route. The Packers have the easiest strength of schedule from here on out. They do not see another team with a winning record at this point. The Packers finish up the year against the Giants. That's Monday Night Football. The Buccaneers, the Panthers, the Vikings, and the Bears.
Loss.
Not Bears.
The Bears are going to be a loss? Is that what I heard?
Indeed.
Bears taking L? Are you?
No, Packers gonna take that L.
Hey,
it depends. It depends where we are about getting this pick. So losing ain't always bad.
Hey,
yeah,
if you that's
perennial loser.
I'm not going to. Not even going to judge you. Meanwhile, the Vikings have the Raiders, the Bengals, Detroit, Green Bay, and then Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle has San Francisco, Philly, Tennessee, Pittsburgh, and Arizona. The Buccaneers, their schedule's all right. It's not too tough. They got Atlanta, and they got us. It's going to be a big game. Jacksonville, Saints, Carolina Panthers, And then the Saints have Carolina, the Giants, the Rams, the Buccaneers, and the Falcons. So it's like, got to come to play. And at this point, like, I'm expecting the Packers to have this Monday Night Football game against the Giants. And I'm expecting for them to win and take care of business at this point, because now expectations have changed. Anything can happen any given Sunday, Monday, Thursday, Friday, whenever the NFL decides to play at this point. But this Packer team is giving me some confidence to say, like, now I see what it looks like now when y'all put it together. I know y'all can do this. Let me see it consistently. So, hey, playing with pressure is something different.
Same damn thing that we pretty much been doing, bro. Like, the reads are there. Like, he's making the right reads.
Yep.
The receivers aren't dropping the fucking passes. Like, they holding on to the linemen are blocking people. Like, the things that we expected them to do coming into the season, just the little things like that are actually happening. And now all of a sudden we have a good offense. The defense, to be fair, even though we be on Joe Barry's, we be on his bumper, the defense for the most part has been keeping them under about 24 to 21 points a game. So our offense just hasn't been able to supplement the defense holding these opponents under these certain scores. So it's like, now we're putting up numbers the last couple games, and the defense is still doing the same thing that they've been doing all year for the most part. Now it's like, okay, we have a slightly above average offense. It's getting better, but it's slightly above average now to supplement our good defense, and now everything is starting to shift. So boy, if y'all start keep clicking, bro, because y'all still got a lot to go. Y'all got a long lot to learn. But if y'all click like this, wait till the playoffs come, because again, take that fit out the closet, bro. I'm telling you.
You saying wait till the playoffs? I'm not overlooking this season. I want to see how it finishes out. But what I'm really excited to see is this team next year, with a whole year under their belt, more experience, and because that's what it is. They're getting more game reps now. They're getting more familiar. Like Jordan Love said it himself, and they're like, "How is this game different than your first start against the Chiefs?" Because if you remember, Jordan Love's first NFL start was against the Chiefs when Aaron Rodgers had COVID. And he had to step in Arrowhead and play, and that man got blitzed to death.
Andy Reid said he was.
Yeah, it was a close game, but Jordan Love didn't look good. So he said himself, "I had this game circled on my calendar. I was waiting to see the Chiefs again," and I was like, "I like that energy."
I feel like PJ Tucker right now, but it's like, do it again.
Yeah,
do it again, and do it again. Like it's one thing to get up for, the Super Bowl champions. It's one thing to get up for a team that smacked you around already in Detroit, but when you have, like, to your point, when you have the expectations on you, when it's like, hey, the road is wide open for you, what you gonna do? Like, that's a different type of pressure, because now you're expected to do well. Everything, actually, like mirroring what Tim says, like everything to now has been house money. Like, now you actually have some skin in the game. Now you actually have to show up on a weekly basis and do what you need to do. It's no more moral victories. Like, now it's, hey, you're in the driver's seat, really. So you control your own destiny, and you can drive this car off the road, or you can drive it to the promised land. Like, it's up to you. Also, like, to your point about the defense, like, yes, I've been like the number one E-Man Joe Barry haters club all the season. Well, since he's been here, really. But this is the 8th straight game that the Packers have allowed 24 points or less. So they're doing their job. I wish I saved the tweet, but it's not like I can pull it up right now anyway, because I'm on my phone. But somebody said, like, that's the first time, I think, since 2011 or something like that they've had a streak of those many games under 24 points. So, yeah, the team is clicking on all cylinders. Like, all the things that we saw, kind of like the rough edges of in the weeks preceding, is just like they're not earling right now. Like, the curl is starting to activate. So, yeah, like it's exciting again. And this game was kind of like a culmination of everything that we've kind of been seeing and waiting for them to put together.
Yeah,
absolutely. So, last thing I'm going to say about this, the Packers playoff odds, depending on the rest of the season, per the NYT, New York Times. They go 5-0, 100% chance making the playoffs, because they're in the driver's seat, like Eric mentioned. 4-1, a 99% chance to make the playoffs. If they go 3-2, they have between an 80 to 95% chance. So on that lower end, if they lose to the Buccaneers and the Vikings because of who we're chasing or who's behind us in the chase at this point, I should say. And the best 2 losses they could have would be to the Giants and the Bears, because it's not going to affect the playoff race. They go 2-3, there's a 14 to 42% chance for them to make the playoffs. They go 1-4, less than 1%, 0-5. It's probably not going to happen. So it's in the Packers' hands how the rest of the season goes and where they end up in this postseason, which is kind of exciting. Especially, when you make a preseason prediction and it's coming close to being true, and you be like, yeah, let me get that. I want that, because I said the Packers were going to be a wild card team. I want that. I want it.
Yeah, same. Come on, Ken, round it out.
Nah.
There we go. Don't hate. Don't get hair all your life.
There we go. Okay.
I actually got to show some love for your team, Ken.
Hey,
I was looking at the draft order. Somebody tweeted out, and I went and looked into it a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
If the season ended today, the Bears will have the number 1 pick in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks to the Carolina Panthers. So I want to point out the tiny little bit of business that the Bears pulled off in the offseason. Like, they traded the number 1 pick last year for a number 9 pick. They got a number 1 receiver, and I feel like they got some other supplemental picks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Beyond that, last year. Plus, they got Carolina's 1 this year, and with Carolina being 1-11,
mm-hmm.
like, they traded the number 1 pick, got back a whole bunch of assets, and then still got a number 1 pick back. Like, that's probably unprecedented in NFL history or sports history, I would think.
And y'all could trade that mug again.
Yeah.
Just keep rolling it over. Although they might want to take a quarterback this year. But yeah, I just want to shout out, like, that was some shrewd GMing. Like, they wanted to see what they had in Justin Fields another year. And again, like, the asset haul that they got back, even excluding the number 1 pick, like the number 1 overall pick, if it was just like a middle of the road first rounder, like, that already would have been a win. But like, to get back your number 1 overall pick by trading, you know what I mean? Like, that's just, I don't know, like, it's not even necessarily unprecedented, because not impressive, but because, like, they don't really have control over it, but just Carolina's ineptitude has allowed them to, get the, for this to be like the best case scenario, picks wise. It's pretty cool. So yeah, you don't even have to tank, Ken. Like, you already got a top 3 pick probably in the bag.
I mean, at one point, y'all had the number 1 and 2 picks. I mean, y'all can go back to that.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel indifferent about a lot of people. A lot of Bear fans want us to, like, get away with Justin Fields. I really want to wait 1 more year on Justin Fields. I really want to put some receivers around him that are true playmakers. Somebody else besides Moore, get him another receiver and work on our offensive line. And I really think that he can blossom. So I really want to wait 1 more year before we try to, cut it on him right now.
I think that's fair.
So you would prefer to keep Justin too?
Yes.
So it's interesting, because earlier in the season, when things were going terrible, you were already kind of like, hey, we might want to take a look at what other quarterback options we might have for the Chicago Bears. So I'm just curious, what has changed for you to now be kind of like, you know what, actually, let me get more Justin Fields going forward?
What helped a lot was him being injured, was him being gone, and watching someone else, like, run that offense, and then realizing, like, I mean, I said it before, but to, like, really see, like, it really ain't Justin fault like that. Like, he really hasn't had anything consistent. He had different coordinators, different coaches, like, basically his entire career, and we haven't put the right pieces together for him anyway. And again, like, I was thinking about this earlier about what Eric said, like, when we finally figured, like, oh, we're going to start Justin. I was like, dog, just think if Justin would have been able to sit and, like, learn for a little bit, like, that really would have, like, helped him a lot more. So I don't want to fault all of that, like, on him. But like I said, I feel like if we can legit put pieces around him, I think that we can make it happen. Offensive line for sure, so he's not running for his life, and just get another receiver besides Moore. Moore has been Moore got 1,000 yards right already. I believe so.
Do we?
I'm not sure.
I can look it up and tell you.
I'm not sure. I thought he did. I thought I saw him get 1,000. I'm not sure, but yeah. So I love the Moore Fields that combination. Is 5. So
yes, he does. He has 1,003.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. So I mean, you can't be mad at that. Moore come in, give you 1,000 yard season. What more could we really want from him?
I see what you did there.
1, 2, 3, 4. 5 more games to go too.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. All right, Ken. What else you want to highlight from the NFL this past week?
Yeah, I want to give Dak his flowers. Because a lot of people, including myself, media, everything, like when Dak is trash, like everybody hop on his bumper, as Tim would say. So he's actually in the MVP conversation now. He's playing really well. He has 3,200 yards, 26 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and his QBR is like 108. So he's like playing well. The only thing that the Dallas team themselves, and what will help Dak in the case of him in the MVP race conversation, will be they do not have a statement win this season yet. So this week will be their time. If they can beat Philly and Dak plays amazing, like they need a statement win, because they've been beaten up on, like teams that aren't like the Giants, like they'll put up 40, 50 on them. Like they have scored over 40 points, I believe, like 5 times this season, but it's been against losing teams. So for them to get this, that'll be a huge win for them. They need that statement win this year, and I feel like them beating Philly this week would definitely be it, and that will put him above. So I don't know. I'm excited about that guy. I normally don't get excited about games like that, but I was like, that's going to be a really good game.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sitting here looking. The Cowboys beat the Giants 40-0 in week 1, and then they came back and they lost to the 49ers 42-10, but they beat the Rams 43-20, beat the Giants again 49-17, beat the Commanders 45-10, and then they just beat the Seahawks 45-35.
Yeah, see it 5 times.
If they can beat the Eagles this upcoming week, and then they have the Bills after that, then they have the Dolphins after that, then they have the Lions after that, it's about to be a stretch for them boys.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I just want to see him win too, so Tim can just, Tim the ultimate cowboy hater.
I mean,
No,
you want to see him win for what?
Dak deserves it, bro.
Deserves what?
He deserves something, man. He been having it rough, man. He been through a lot.
You acting like Dak ain't had some good ass teams.
He has.
You acting like Dak ain't had.
But see, people make it seem like Dak is trash, man. Like he's not trash.
Who was people making it seem like Dak is trash?
I like the media.
Trash.
Media makes it seem like Dak.
They never go say Dak is trash. They may not say he has top talent, but he ain't trash.
They say that he's not it all the time, every year.
Because like you said, the statement games. Y'all blowing out the other squads and stuff like that, but every time it's come to the big time, that's where a lot of people give him his issue. But I mean, that's the Cowboys. So
I think we would all agree that Dak isn't. Well, maybe not. I wouldn't put Dak on the top tier, elite of the elite, but whatever is right below that, I think is where he's at.
And he's still an elite quarterback.
Which is, I'm saying he's not a Mahomes. He's not
Lamar's not
he's
Mahomes.
not Lamar. He's not that top level 93 and up on Madden rating quarterback. But he's one of them guys where it's you're a perennial contender with him at quarterback. You might luck into a Super Bowl if you get all the right pieces around him. I don't know what more aside from perfection you could really ask for from Dak at this point. I feel like if he wasn't the Cowboys quarterback, he would actually get more love because so much more comes with that team.
Mm-hmm.
It's any young player that plays for the Lakers. It's you get more attention, but you also get way more scrutiny than you probably deserve. So,
Mhm.
like, yeah, I think he does deserve a little bit more credit for, like, consistently being a well above average quarterback, which sounds backhanded, but I'm really.
No, he's a good quarterback. Like, he really is.
You know, like,
The organization
Black quarterback.
just. Hey, listen. He the one that's playing with the star on his helmet. Okay.
I mean, he ain't choosing.
I was just going to say, yeah, like he chose.
got drafted there.
Did he resign there? He wanted to resign there. Didn't he? Wasn't he
Where the
holding
money at? Who wouldn't? Who would resign?
I'm just saying. He act like ain't no other team would have gave him some money. He had to go back to Dallas.
Hey,
He chose that team.
I mean, after they chose him, like it's
exactly. Like, get out of here.
Want to continue where you built if the
How long
situation.
Dak been there?
Ooh, when was Dak drafted?
Dak been there probably like 7-8 years, bro. He had prime Ezekiel Elliott.
When Romo get out of there?
Like 8 years ago, bro.
Yeah.
How long Dak been around? That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not like Dak ain't never had some good ass teams. He had theirs still too.
Okay, but like Tim, like what year did they underperform? Like you call them
every year they ain't win the bowl.
Tim is proving my point right now that it doesn't make sense. Like it does not make.
I mean,
you want to hate so bad.
Every year was
you
their
just
year.
want to hate so
every
bad.
Year was their year. Every year was their year.
That's what Cowboys fans say.
Not Cowboys fans. Question for you, Tim. Not Cowboys fans, but like actual like pundits and like you yourself, your expectations. Like you never expect them to do shit, but then you talk about them for not doing shit. It's like you can't have it both ways.
Why not?
You can't.
Both things can't be true.
They're not meeting expectations, but I never expected them to do anything. Like how's that?
Like, hey, I got low expectations because y'all don't never do shit, but everybody got your bar right here. So go ahead and not do shit.
Like you specifically, Tim Kansas.
Hey, listen, my bar is always fuck them.
So you
That's what my bar is. It's always gonna be fuck them. Right there. No higher, no more, no less. Maybe less, but no higher for sure.
I wouldn't expect anything else. I wouldn't expect anything else from Tim.
Oh, hey, ass Tim.
Oh, hey,
listen, I keep it right there and I stand up. They bum my ass because they shitty. Go ahead.
Wow.
Okay. Wait, what the fuck?
So to wrap that on up,
Jesus Christ. What?
Dak Prescott was drafted in 2016.
Oh, he been there a minute.
I thought it was 17. It was 16. Yeah.
7 years.
Been there a minute.
All right. Let's move
I was
into
thinking about that the other day where it's like, man, 2016 is damn near a decade ago at this point. Like,
yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Let's move into some NBA topics from this past week.
Sorry.
Yeah. My man's hand was going.
Wow.
I'm sorry, Charlie.
Relax, sir.
You want to start?
Sure. So an article came out today in the Athletic. I believe it was Sam Amick, calling, quote unquote, James Harden unplugged. We got his reaction to kind of what went down in Philly and how he feels now that he's with the Clippers. The most noteworthy stuff is really just the confirmation of what we already suspected, which is he fell out with the Sixers because when he took less the offseason of 2022 for them to sign Daniel House and PJ Tucker and I think acquired DeAnthony Melton, it was with the expectation that he would be taken care of on the back end, meaning a max contract will be waiting for him the offseason of 2023. He said that Daryl Morey essentially cut off all communication with him, didn't check in at all between the end of the playoffs and the start of free agency. And that he took that to mean that they were off him. He said like they made the decision to move on, that they weren't, people of their word, and that was why he opted in so that he could get his money because they had already cost him money. And that he wanted to go, choose his own destiny and make his own move. So that's why he forced his way to the Clippers. Obviously, that's noteworthy because he's denied along the way that there was an agreement in place between him and, quid pro quo or whatever, between him and the Sixers. For him taking less money, the NBA has investigated it twice now, I believe, and come to the conclusion that there was no agreement. So somebody lying. And then also that he met with, his representation met with the Rockets, presumably before free agency, and that there wasn't a fit there for him in role or in money. So basically tampering all around, which, we know happens, but again, like it's kind of like the we don't talk about Bruno type of deal. So yeah, it was noteworthy that he was just basically like snitching on everybody. Like, yeah, Daryl Morey said he's gonna max me, and the Rockets said, when I talked to the Rockets, they wasn't fucking with me. And it's like, you're not supposed to be talking to either one of them, which has been like Daryl Morey's excuse the entire time as to why he didn't talk to James Harden after the season, because they got popped for tampering, and he's like, I don't want to, we're not trying to get in trouble for that anymore, which again is probably bullshit. But I don't know. It was just an interesting read, so I would suggest that if you have an athletic subscription, I would say read through it. James Harden was very clearly about his money. He also has a very inflated opinion of himself, in my opinion, which, again, confirmation of things that we already knew. But, like, I'll also, like I've said along the way, it's like, I get it. Like, you feel like you have a relationship with this person, that you can trust them. They convince you to do some things that are not in your best interest, and then they renege on it. It's like, I'd be like, fuck them too. So I don't really blame him, but yeah, just a little bit more into his viewpoint of like what went down with his way out of Philly. He's basically like, I'm not doing that shit again.
I knew it.
Yeah.
When you at your press conference and you take the time to say that somebody is a liar and you'll
a liar,
it's deeper than
By
rap.
the way,
well, they had the cloth on.
He brought the mic in closer. He's a
liar.
And I will
put some reverb on my mic real quick so they can hear me in the back.
My God, let me ring out 3-4 times after I said liar. God damn.
When that man stopped and repeated himself like prime Mike Jones, like I'm gonna just say that. I want you to understand what I'm saying.
That was hilarious.
I knew it was about $10.
Yeah, I mean, like that cost him like, well, I mean, like if he had a max on the table last summer, I think that would have been well over $200 million for 4 years. So he took less in the first 2 years, which is the second year that he's playing out now. So that cost him like the difference between whatever he's making in the max, plus like the guaranteed money that he would have had in the next 2 seasons, which I'm pretty sure, or I should say I'm pretty sure. I don't think that he'll get from the Clippers this offseason what he would have made off the max that he could have signed with Philadelphia had he not done them a solid. So, like, yeah, I get it. Like, he cost them well over $100 million, I would imagine. And I wouldn't be, like, regardless of what history we have, if somebody cost you $100 million, this fuck them forever.
Yeah. Real talk.
I get mad if someone cost me.
You never get that back.
Nope.
You talking about $100 million?
Which is why I'm like always. I never fault a player for trying to get every dollar that they have due to them, because you only have a finite amount of years, and these organizations do not give a fuck about you. They care about what you can provide for them. So
yeah,
they'll pay whatever they have to, and if they don't, somebody else will.
That's fair. That's fair. All right. Let's see. I wanted to take a look back at some preseason predictions. Not all of them. We don't have that much time. I just wanted to focus primarily on the standings. I'm going to definitely pull up the All-Star stuff probably next week, maybe the week after. I'm assuming All-Star voting is going to be starting soon. Normally it's mid-December for that. Definitely want to take a look at some of those predictions. But today, this week, the standings, because taking a look at where the current standings are and what I thought they would be, it's already different. We're only a quarter of the way through the NBA season at this point. So in the East, currently, Boston is the 1 seed, followed by Orlando, Milwaukee, Philly, the New York Knicks, the Pacers, the Heat, Cleveland at 8, the Nets, and then the Hawks. My preseason predictions, I had Boston at 1. Hey, we 1 for 1 right now with that. I had Milwaukee at 2. They're 3 right now. I had Cleveland at 3. They're at 8 right now. And I want to pause there. What's been going on in Cleveland? And the easiest answer to point at is just health. Garland, Mitchell, Allen, even LeVert. Like, they've missed quite a few games. The first 3 have missed 5 games apiece. LeVert's missed 4 already. We're only about 20 games in, and they miss them at different times. So it's like they haven't been able to have their full starting lineup in. So I'm not really worried about Cleveland in this moment, but it's just something to keep an eye on. The other team, Orlando, I mean, they're 2. They're second in the East right now. Did not expect that. We already talked about Orlando a bit last week, if not the week before, when Eric wanted to highlight them, and was on 2K with the homies the other day, and one of my homies is a Magic fan. A real true Orlando Magic fan. And we were talking about Orlando. And I mean, hey, it's impressive. Right now, they've come out with a top, defense, which is really carrying them right now. And my other guy, Dub, said, well, who have they played? And when we took a look at the upcoming schedule, I said, this mid-December to mid-January run for the Orlando Magic is going to teach us a lot. Let me just tell y'all the upcoming schedule here.
Wait, before you do, Dub said, who did they play? Did they just beat his team?
Outside of the Celtics, man. Outside of the Celtics.
I mean, they beat us too.
So the Magic have the Cavaliers.
Oh, shit.
They have the Cavaliers. They have the Celtics on the road.
Okay.
Back to back. Then they have the Heat, Bucks on the road, Pacers on the road, Wizards on the road. They should get that. Then they got 76ers at home, the Knicks at home, on the road to see Phoenix, on the road to see Golden State, on the road to see the Kings, on the road to see the Nuggets.
God damn, that's a West Coast road trip.
Boy, that's a gauntlet.
Then they come home and they have the Hawks. Then they have the Timberwolves at home. Then they go play the Heat. Then they go play the Thunder. Then they go play the Knicks. And then they go to the Hawks. And then they have the 76ers back at home again. And that takes you through January 19th. Like, they have a gauntlet of games coming up.
I mean, you could go through the 22nd, maybe skip the 26th because the Grizzlies ain't worth a damn, and go back to January 28th.
By the 26th, they might be. Ja gets back the 19th. And then we'll see how other injuries, 19th of December. And then we see how the other injury news pans out for the Grizzlies. So, it
might be the Grizzlies again by then.
Yeah, it's a tough schedule. So if we come back in a month's time and the Magic are still top 6 in the East, I'm a for sure say this is a locked in playoff team at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Those were 2 teams in the East I wanted to highlight. In the West, currently, Minnesota Timberwolves are the 1 seed, followed by the Oklahoma City Thunder, and then the Denver Nuggets, Sacramento Kings, Phoenix Suns, Dallas Mavericks, Los Angeles Lakers, New Orleans Pelicans, the Clippers, and then the Houston Rockets, which the Rockets, I don't know if y'all paid attention, but the Rockets haven't won a game on the road yet. They've been bad on the road, but great at home. It's really weird. My preseason predictions, I had Denver, Lakers, Suns, Kings, Grizzlies, Mavericks, Warriors, Thunder, Clippers, Timberwolves. So I got to highlight the Young Bucks here because I thought that OKC would be 8, Minnesota would be 10. Right now, Minnesota is the 1 seed, OKC is the 2 seed, these young teams. I should say OKC for sure, the young team. But Minnesota led by Anthony Edwards and this jumbo 3 big thing they got going on. The other night, Reed, Cat, and Gobert were their leading scorers. And I was just like, what? This is so weird. But it's working. Minnesota's defense is coming to play. Anthony Edwards has been taking the leap when he's been playing. He's been out the last couple of games with that hip injury, but they've been hooping. We've talked about the Thunder and how they've been hooping. The Suns being the 5 seed when they haven't had their big 3 play a game together yet. Kind of scary. And then Memphis, already mentioned them in the fact that, they just have not looked good so far this season. I thought that they'd be able to weather not having Ja a little bit better, and then everyone else started getting hurt around them as well. So then their depth took another hit, and now their people ain't supposed to be playing is now playing. Like it's just a big mess. So yeah,
Which actually,
it's
sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's always fun predicting how things are gonna go, and then the real season gets here, and you're like, oh.
I actually think that this might be a blessing in disguise for Memphis. Like, obviously, it sucks to kind of have a lost season, but like, given how many good young players they've had to like let go over the last few years, like being able to kind of replenish that, get the young people that they do have on the team now some extra run, see what they have with those dudes. Like, obviously, you want to contend every year that you have a superstar like Ja, but like if he's gonna miss, 2/3 of the season, like you're already starting at a disadvantage. You have Jaren, you have Bane. Like if you can, if you wind up with a top 10 pick, obviously it's probably a bad draft, but if it's another, bringing another top 10 talent on top of like what you already have, like that might wind up in the long run give you another dude that can run with Ja and everybody else once they're healthy and just kind of hit the ground running next year. It's kind of like the Warriors when they took that gap year when everybody got hurt. It's like, I mean, theoretically, it would have given them, the number 2 pick in what wound up being a pretty decent draft. That could have extended their window and given them another guy. I mean, they just picked the wrong person, but it's an opportunity that Memphis has that they wouldn't have otherwise. It's Golden State that's really like concerning to me. Like they just haven't looked good outside of Steph. Like that team just overall has not looked good.
Yeah, it's been when I saw Marcus Smart when he wasn't playing and he was out injured and he was giving him a pep speech on the sideline tomorrow. This is embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I was like, oh yeah. So things going to Memphis right now. So hey, hopefully, I'm looking forward to Ja getting back. I know we had all the off-court stuff, but Ja's been one of my favorite players to watch consistently. So on the court, and I'm looking forward to seeing him get back there and hoop.
I mean, it's good that he's been shutting the fuck up like while he's been suspended.
I mean, yeah, you live and you learn, right?
Yeah, no choice.
Ken, what you got for us?
Okay, so we our dream here on Tech File has always been Lakers and Bucks for the NBA Finals. Right now it seems like we're a little bit closer to seeing them in the playoff in the play-in not play-in, the mid-season tournament more than the NBA Finals. How excited will we be if the Lakers and the Bucks actually face each other for the mid-season tournament?
It's a start.
Mm-hmm.
Like we want you for the big game, but we'll go ahead and take the warm up too.
Yeah, I want it. I ain't gonna lie. I want to win it. Man.
It's gonna be fun. It would be fun. Like we would have to meet up in person and watch this game, bro. I don't know how I've been wanting to do a live watch with us kind of thing. Yeah, but I'm gonna have to pull up. I gotta talk my shit and yell and shit in your face while we doing this shit. Like, bro, it's gonna be a good time though. It's gonna be a good game. It would be.
I want it for LeBron, man. It's one more thing that LeBron can add to his legacy.
Oh, you care about Bron's legacy.
Right. You did not care about this man. You did not care about this man. It was the
K.
We got him.
It was obvious. Like everything that LeBron did before was like, that's a threat to Kobe legacy. So like now,
hey, when you a Laker, you a Laker, B.
Add it to his legacy. You calling him the GOAT now and everything.
When you a Laker, you a Laker.
James.
Mm-hmm.
You probably do call him GOAT James now, don't you?
No, I ain't gonna go that far. I ain't gonna go there. I call him the Kang before I ain't gonna call him GOAT. The Kang.
We going
honestly, like I do kind of want it just because like there's some shit to win, but they released the awards today. Them shits is slick. Like the NBA Cup is clean. They got the MVP for the tournament. Interesting, but then they get the winning team gets medals. If you get tournament team, you get little black glass balls. Like I like all of them. Like they've really been killing the awards recently.
Yeah, they clean that black and gold, and I love because we didn't know what they looked like exactly. We've seen the NBA Cup through promotions, but to see all the different hardware was cold. And I was like, I understand too, like the branding for the tournament's always that black and gold that you see. And I was like, this is cool. But yeah, give me Bucks Lakers. I'm not mad at that at all. I think it might be Bucks Suns. It might be a 2021 finals rematch with different characters in the game. But yeah, give me Lakers. I'd be cool with Lakers Bucks just for this pod. Like, I'll take that as a warm up, like Tim said.
And I didn't think about it last week when the field got set, but like all told, the NBA is probably happy with the representation of the teams. Like, I'm pretty sure they would have preferred to have Golden State over the Kings, but you got the Lakers, you've got the Suns with their big three, who hopefully will be healthy by then. You got the Bucks with Giannis and Dame. You got the Celtics. I don't know if I mentioned them already. You got the Knicks, so you got the New York. And then you have like some young stars that you can kind of promote, and Zion and Fox and Halliburton. So like they got a really solid field, like from a league, publicity perspective.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
And then another team too, not to cut you off or nothing, but I wouldn't be mad at the Knicks winning because they need something to cheer for. Like I feel bad for Knicks fans, man. Huh?
I said I would because that means we get put out first round.
No, but I was just like the Knicks need something to cheer for. So if they got that, I'm like, all right, at least they got something to be happy about. Knicks fans been struggling for years.
Again, that might legitimize the tournament for the casual fan. Like Lakers winning it, or like the Celtics or the Knicks, like then that's a big market. That's like, oh yeah, this is some shit to celebrate, and then that becomes. It's about like establishing the in-season tournament as a thing for people to really be excited to watch and to win and stuff like that. So from that perspective, it's a win.
Yeah, that's fair. Tim, did you have something NBA you wanted to talk about before we move into wrestling?
Just a quick shout out to KD. Congratulations on moving into the top 10 of the NBA all-time scorers list. The amount of games that he's played compared to the rest of the guys in the top 10 is KD only played 1,004 games and is at the top 10. Number one is LeBron, and he's played 1,400. Two is Kareem, he played 1,500. Three is Carmelo, he played 1,400. You kind of get the gist. So for him to have done it within 1,000 games, 1,004 games is one remarkable, impressive as crap. And that's with him missing 2 full years, I believe. Like,
might be more than that, low key.
So I mean, that's at least 100 games if he played 50 games a season that he's missed out on. That he probably would have averaged around like 28 to 30 points there anyway. That's more of his thing. But congrats to KD. Just wanted to give a quick shout out to him because he's still active. His next venture on this list would be Carmelo. So he's about 256 points behind him. No, 156 points behiand him.
Oh, so he'll have that next week.
256 is right. I'm sorry. It's 256 because Melo is Melo is 1260 and he's 1,004. That's games played. What the hell am I talking about? I'm tripping. I'm looking at games played. 7,000 points behind Melo.
Okay.
It's 43 to 36.
I know Tim gonna have to get out of here real quick. I think it was JJ Redick and I'm having a conversation, but it's like, how many all-time greats do you think are in the league right now? Like he said off top, like KD, Steph, LeBron are already there, like their stamp solidified. The only other two for me that are like they're probably locks or close to locks is Giannis and Jokic. But are there any other that are like this might be the top 20 guy all time?
Well, you want to put Luka up there?
Done, like Luka might be James Harden 2.0 at this point. Like they've accomplished pretty much. He's on that trajectory if he don't start winning championships.
You wouldn't count Chris Paul?
I wouldn't put Chris Paul top 20 all time.
Okay.
Or like have the.
Oh, you mean like period? I was thinking his position.
No. All time players, period, regardless of position.
Like top 20 period.
Pantheon of like.
No, I think the names you said are about it at this moment that you can say like for sure. I think Luka has potential to do that. You got to put some championships and things, some other hardware on that resume, but the talent's there to do it. But
depending on how the back half of his career goes, like he has to do it now, obviously, but talent wise, like he's probably one of the most talented big men that we've seen. But he doesn't have like the accolades and the winning yet. I guess he has the MVP, so he doesn't have the winning piece yet. Yeah. Tatum is the one that they always want to put there. It's like
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you guys know how I feel about Tatum. So I guess obviously Wemby, but like he hasn't done shit yet. So like I don't know if we can put him there, but like that's one where it's like his potential. Like he's one of those dudes.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, I feel it's interesting to think about, but I think the names you said are the ones where I'd be like, yeah, those are probably it right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Until we see some more from some other folks. Ken, I know you do have to jump, so let's start with your wrestling take first, so that you can get that off before we head out the door.
So I do want to talk about Randy Orton. Randy Orton, he returned at War Games, but he's coming back hot. Like he's back. He's now he's on SmackDown. So they're gonna go ahead and throw him right into.
That man said, "I got a hard stop," and really had a hard stop. Oh, there you go. Never mind.
Yeah, so they can throw him right back in the. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, they can throw him right back into the bloodline stuff and all of that. But yeah, he's jacked. Like Orton looks really good, fam. Hate, all right, this a little hate. I'm gonna hate a little bit. Why CM Punk couldn't put more effort into how he looked? The nigga look like he just got done drinking beers, fam, and he want to come out and wrestle, fam. Nigga like he just got done drinking a 6-pack. He just there for the money, fam.
He said, "I'm here to make money, not."
But yeah, I'm excited. I like that. They getting the Daddy's Back shirts popping off with Randy Orton and everything like that. So that's dope.
Wait, they making that shirt?
Yeah, I'm excited to see Randy Orton back.
Yeah, they made the shirt. Got a whole bunch of neck beards calling another man daddy, but hey.
You mind if I say that?
Yeah, I just want to say real quick about Randy Orton. Super happy that he's back. I wonder how long the face run lasts, because whenever I think of Randy Orton, my mind just goes to heel. Randy Orton, like that's the Randy Orton that I've always been most partial to. Like, give me maniacal, evil, down low, Triple H protege type of Randy Orton heat. But I get it. You just coming back. Have a baby face run.
I don't know. Like, have we reached the point of his career where it's just like everybody's happy to see him? So like he can never really be a true heel again. Like, think about Edge. Like they tried to turn Edge heel. Not work.
Randy, okay. Everything. So what you're saying, yes, I agree with you, but I feel like he'll be more the anti-hero. Like he'll be the heel, but people still gonna cheer for him at this point.
Like, Cena even came back where it's like at some point it's just like I've been watching this dude since I was X years old, and he's still doing it. I love all the poses. I love the theme music. You recognize when they're gone how much you missed them. Like there are some people where it's just like you reach a point where it's like Undertaker in his last 10, 20 years is like 10, 20 years is kind of crazy. But like in his last 5 to 10 years, it's like you can't boo Undertaker. You love the gong, you love the slow walking, old school, all that stuff. It's just like the gimmick becomes the gimmick, and it's just like you kind of locked into that. So I don't know if he can ever be a true heel again. Because he's like beloved Randy Orton at this point. It's 20 plus years in. Like I think. Not saying that, like not poo-pooing on like your idea. I feel like it wouldn't take at this point because there's too much love and goodwill built up.
But I feel like with her idea though, it's around the corner because he had a whole run with Bro for a minute with the face run. Like him and Riddle were faces for quite a lot bit longer than we used to see Randy be a face. So that's why I feel like the heel return. It's right there. He might hit Jay. Oh no, he on SmackDown now. So
him and Jay.
He gonna hit somebody. You're right. He gonna hit somebody. He gonna get somebody ass. Because I think who made the save recently? LA Knight. I think LA Knight came out to help him out recently. I can see that be his heel turn. He gonna hit him with the RKO.
I can see that. Even if he does, like people gonna cheer.
But we don't also know like, okay, he doesn't hit another face. That's the end of that.
Yeah. Like, I mean, there's always going to be a certain subset of folks who going to cheer for Randy regardless. I married someone who's going to cheer for Randy Orton regardless. Like, we saw how they act at pay-per-views when it come to Randy Orton. But look, I'm just happy he's back. And I hope that we have still a few good years of storytelling left to do with Randy Orton in this business.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That kind of actually, that actually leads into mine, actually. So my topic was Road to WrestleMania. We're not here. Now that the last pay-per-view was over, what was the Survivor Series? The next pay-per-view is the Royal Rumble.
That's what always kicks it off to me. When the Rumble starts, I'm like, now we.
So I feel like because you have all the storylines for the actual pay-per-view itself too, leading up into that, and a lot of those storylines kind of they'll carry to like Elimination Chamber or something like that, and then they'll kind of part ways or it's setting up something else. That's why I always felt like after Survivor Series, WrestleMania season kicks in because, for example, right now you have the return of Randy Orton. Yes, Survivor Series is one of the big four, but it's at the same time he's in right in time with him being able to be into the Rumble. You have the return of CM Punk at the same time. Again, another person that can now enter the Rumble, but you also have storyline possibilities with both of them. Eventually, maybe a match between Punk and Rollins for his belt. I'm sure probably be the Mania joint that they're looking for. Randy Orton return. He got to finish his feud with the Bloodline. They don't want to see. They try to take me out like they did Randy. But you have the Intercontinental title storyline. Those are heating up. Because The Miz and Gunther is doing pretty well, but then he's been having his feuds kind of increase in difficulty, especially when he could kick out like that 15-hit combo that he always killed dudes with. KO and Logan Paul's heating up now that they're about to be feuding. That's probably going to lead into LA Knight with Logan Paul probably taking Logan Paul's belt at some point for his. To be fair, I love LA Knight, but right now he has Cody, Punk, Orton, Jay, and still arguably Damon Priest in front of him before he even gets a title shot. Another one, because he just lost the one that he just had. So I'm like, but all of this to say, like, we're now in that time frame where you have to find story for Cody, Punk, Orton, Jay, the Bloodline, the Judgment Day, like the women's title pictures heating up on both sides, and you have the storylines heating up on both sides for that. The only thing that's not actually heating up is the women's tag team belts. Outside of that, but outside of that, everything else is kind of like slowly starting to turn up now.
Can I ask your opinion with the road to WrestleMania? The Rumble's coming up. We haven't seen Sasha Banks wrestle since before my birthday in May. And there were rumors that she might be signing with AEW soon. And then I just kind of feel like with Triple H at the helm and no Vince, you can't rule out a WWE return. Do you think there's any potential for a Sasha Banks splash at like the Rumble making her return? Like, do you have interest in that as well?
Hell yeah, bro.
Yes. Also, she did just put out like a little teaser video of her getting back into the ring because she's been hurt. Like, that's why she hasn't been anywhere. Like you said, like there were rumors about AEW. She showed up at one of their shows. Apparently, was it all whatever they did in the UK? Was that where she was at?
Yeah, I think that's the one she was at.
Yeah. So like there's at least been conversation there, but the fact that they haven't locked her down is probably not a great sign, given how the different portions of the companies are going at the moment. Bailey has started. Dropping social media. Well, no, not even like storyline stuff, but like on social media, she's been posting like pictures with Sasha from when she was with the company before, and like I miss you and blah blah blah. So, and with her getting in storyline, with her getting probably kicked out of Damage Control, so I would imagine like that'd be a nice little
the save.
Like talking about the women's tag titles, like find a way to get it on one of the Japanese wrestlers in Damage Control, or two of them. I guess the two that don't have belts. Then that's the Mania match with Bailey and Sasha. Like that writes itself, honestly.
Because I'll be Asuka and Kairi.
Yeah,
or Io.
Well, she's the women's champion. So,
yeah, that's true.
which I mean that don't mean she's gonna have the belt at Mania. But I'm just saying like that is an easy way to just like have them come in, take the belt, and then like they beat up Bailey, and then she's like, I'm gonna have a partner. It's gonna be a surprise at Mania, and then she come back, and then boom, like you off and running.
Who would main event Mania though at this point? Like what's the main event for the women?
Oh, that's already.
Is it Jade and Bianca? Is that what we're thinking for the main match? Like what's the main event match that we think that might be for the women? Like is the Bianca and Jade? Yeah.
I think the Raw, like they've been very obviously keeping Becky and Rhea separate all year. Like they haven't interacted at all. They've been sent Becky down to NXT. Like there's been a clear dearth of legitimate contenders for Rhea all year, and you have Becky on Raw. So like I feel like that's probably where they're gonna wind up going there as far as SmackDown is concerned.
Mm-hmm. That's how I'm like, SmackDown got the bangers, bro.
They do. But it's like all their heavy hitters are faces or will be soon with Bailey probably turning. So
what do? Who do you turn? Who's turning? That's the question.
Charlotte's always good by herself. She always like, hey, look, I don't need nobody. I'm good by myself.
But it's like they've done Charlotte Bianca before, haven't they?
They just did it this past WrestleMania.
Yeah, so that's out. I mean, I guess if you bring up Jay and you want to put her in a spot, like Charlotte's the money match to start with. Like, obviously, we want to see Bianca and Jay, but while you have Charlotte, you need to take advantage of it because she's further along in her career.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair.
But yeah, it's gonna be fun. Like I mentioned to y'all in the group chat, SmackDown gonna be here in March on the road to WrestleMania, so we don't have a live SmackDown in Milwaukee before WrestleMania, so I'm sure it's gonna be cracking. Which reminds me, I never posted I went to SmackDown. Like I had all the little clips. I have to post that late, but it should be
a year of review. Your year of review clip.
I mean, that's a good setup.
Yeah, I got two. I didn't post my Vegas trip, and I didn't post SmackDown. I was like, I got to get these videos. Maybe I'll just do it sometime this month. Be like going through stuff.
Yeah, I didn't post Miami or none of that. Like I didn't post a lot of stuff this year. I was like, maybe I'll put a little collage or something together and
yeah,
like a little photo dump.
I gotta get more consistent at that. But yeah, the road to WrestleMania is gonna be fun. I'm looking for it. Like wrestling has hooked me right back on in really well. And with that being said, it's not just WWE that has hooked me at this point. I'm also actually very excited to tune into AEW this week, which I don't say often, but on Wednesday we're gonna have the Adam Copeland Christian Cage AEW TNT Championship match. I'm not sure if y'all have followed this feud at all. I've caught some things on social media that had me be like, oh my God, where has this feud been going? And then today I actually found on YouTube, AEW put together like a full 2.5 hour video detailing the entire feud between these two since Adam Copeland, aka Edge, got to AEW.
2 hours? Goddamn.
Because they actually have 4 matches in there in addition to all the promos.
Oh, okay.
So it's like you can fast forward through matches if you want, but it's the whole story leading up to this championship match they're going to have against each other on TV on Wednesday. And the promo work has been outstanding. I mean, we know Edge and Christian is one of the greatest tag teams to ever lace them up. So they have a lot of personal history to draw on with their feud. And they are no punches are being held between these two dudes right now. Like Christian told that man, I am going to do things to you that he said, I'm going to injure your neck the way it should have been done initially. I'm gonna make sure that you in the wheelchair drooling, fam. He's been saying stuff like to Beth, like, hey, Beth and the kids, daddy's really gonna be home. And I'm talking about myself. Get some fresh sheets on the bed before I get there. Like Christian has been on one.
I said this about Roman, like at peak bloodline, gaslighting. Like that's a movie villain. Like that's not even a wrestling heel at this point. Like that's transcended the genre. Like that's a full blown villain that Christian is operating at right now.
full. He
Ruthless.
leaned all the way in. And Edge has been remarkable. Like Edge has been trying to keep his cool. But once Christian started bringing up his kids and his wife and everything, and then when he brought up the neck part, that's when Edge really was like, all right, bro. Like you've been trying me this whole time, and now I'm about to really, like, now it's on for real. So I'm actually excited. I'm tuning in to AEW on Wednesday because I got to see this.
Fair enough. You may have convinced me to check out a YouTube trailer or so.
I'll send you the one promo that caught me that Edge gave by himself in a hallway, and I was like, oh.
Yeah. I saw it when you retweeted it.
Yeah, I was like, oh, what is this all about? So that made me go back and look, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm all in on this.
Yeah, and that's what I always say about like Sammy and KO, or I can't think of any right now, but like the best friends in real life do like the most heinous shit because you trust them. So like you can go all out in matches, you can go all out in promos because it's not like is this dude shooting on me right now? Like there's no like in your back of your mind like do he really want to fight? Like it's actually like, no, this is my dude. We love each other. So let's go out and like beat the shit out of each other. Let's go out and really eviscerate each other on the mics because it's all about elevating both of us.
Mm-hmm.
Like Owen and Brett back in the day, like it was, you know, like you can have a blood feud with somebody that you really love and care about, and that's what makes wrestling great. Even
to your point, thinking about like Triple H and Shawn Michaels when they would fight, like their feuds were always really, really good. And I actually found I'm sorry, Adam Copeland. I got to call him by his AEW real name. They was chanting for me like Adam. He's like, this is kind of weird. I ain't used to hearing Adam when I'm in the ring. Cool. So I'm just play a little part of this so y'all can hear Adam's passion going into this match here.
I don't hear it.
Is he talking?
Just say fine. I'm coming straight in the barrel at you, Jake. Or should I call you Christian Cage? Or better yet, should I call you the patriarch now? Huh? All of it. All of it. What just happened to Nick Wayne on Wednesday? What just happened to Kill Switch? It's all on you. It's your fault. And it's all because of your insecurities. Because when I got here, you were afraid that people were going to compare you to me some more. That you were going to be second fiddle. That you were going to be riding my coattails again. At the beginning of our careers and our friendship was more important than what anyone could say, whatever the industry would throw at us, but you couldn't get past your own ego, could you, man? The night I got here, you were about to concerto Sting. Wednesday, you're about to kill switch. Concerto Shane O'Wayne. You not so subtly told me what you think about me and the chances of us teaming again. You put Beth's name, my children's name in your stupid little mouth. You know I'm short fuse, man. You know I do, and you kept trying to light it, but I wouldn't let you until you said the one thing. So you're gonna break my neck.
Your freaking neck.
Me in a wheelchair, drooling all over myself, while my children looked at me and said to their friends, "My dad used to be something." So now you're not just threatening me. You're not just threatening my future. You're threatening theirs.
Come at me, bro.
On my wall. Go to the hospital. Ask your prodigy what happens when I snap. Skill switch. What happens when I snap if he can speak yet?
Y'all get out just and I was like, yeah, not if he can speak yet. What did you do to this man? Why can't he speak? What kind of hospital service is he getting right now? But yeah, Wednesday, AEW Dynamite. This match happens. And yes, Triple T, a Monday pod. We are here because the Bucks in-season tournament game happens to be on a Tuesday. I believe Eric has tickets. We'll be in the building live. I got locked on Bucks, so day early. Not $1 short, just a day early.
Just a day.
But if you got it, I will take it. Yeah, no, like I don't know. Like I will probably tune in for that because, like to your point, like it's been some good storytelling. Like honestly, long-term storytelling and wrestling being back is like one of the top revelations of this year or the last couple of years. Like obviously we've talked about the bloodline, but like you had like WWE starting to acknowledge the past has just been like a great breath of fresh air recently. Like they'll talk about like, oh, the Bloodline took Randy Orton out, or like there's beef between Bayley and Kyrie Sane because they ran her out of WWE the first time, or like just acknowledging things that happened in the past. Drew McIntyre talking about like, I'm not fucking just because we both faces. I'm not fucking with Jay off top because like he cost me a title. Or Kevin Owens always pointing out like all the different tropes in wrestling. It's like I know what's about to happen. Like you gonna say somebody's name and they gonna come out and they gonna challenge them to a fight, and then that's why like rewarding people for watching long term. AEW with Adam and Christian, like we've been watching these dudes for 25 years, I think at this point. Like acknowledge that, like pay off that we've been watching this thing forever, and like build on top of the storylines that you that have come before it. Like that's great. Like I love that they're embracing that at this point.
That's a fact.
What I also have loved is just WWE this year. Like I went back and I was like, how can we pick like a top moment or even like a top 5 moment from WWE this year? Like think about all the stuff like since we've turned the calendar to 2023. You've got at the Royal Rumble, you got Sami Zayn leaving the Bloodline. Like that's a top moment. Like the reaction that he got for hitting Roman with that chair was crazy. Sammy in Montreal, like the reaction that the crowd had to him, like how hot the crowd was for him that night. You got Roman surprise win at Mania when everybody just knew Cody was going to finish the story. Like, I wish Ken was here because, like, I know that kind of sucked for people that rooted for Cody, but, like, just the sheer shock of it, like, I was not expecting it. And, like, I kind of had, like, a mini Taker losing the streak moment at Mania. Because, again, like, the whole storyline was building up to, Cody's about to, take the mantle and run as the new face of WWE. And it's like, Roman's like, nah, fuck that. Run me my title. Outside the ring, you got Vince selling WWE. That happened this year. You had Bad Bunny in Puerto Rico. Like, that entrance was crazy.
That made me add that song.
Yeah, like I never heard that song before. It's like it's probably like one of my top played songs of the year. Like I haven't done the Apple Music rap thing. Well, I know that's Spotify, but you know what I mean, like the end of the year wrap up. But I would imagine it's got to be up there because I played the shit out of that song after Bad Bunny came out to it. You got Jay Uso leaving the Bloodline. You out and I'm out too. Like that whole scene happened this year. That was a crazy reaction. Again, Jay, his entrance at SummerSlam, like the first time the crowd really got into the hand waving. The Rock coming back in Denver with what's his face?
Pat McAfee.
Again, blew the roof off that arena. CM Punk and Randy Orton coming back at SummerSlam. Like it's a whole bunch of moments that are like any other year be like, damn, remember that time such and such, and like all these moments just happened within the last 12 months. It's great. It's been a great year for WWE. I've enjoyed it, and I was out on wrestling for so long.
Same.
Like there have been fits and starts over the last 5 years, but like 20 into 22 into 20, basically Triple H's run has been, up and up. And even Vince coming back to, throw the turd in the punch bowl has worked out long term. So WWE is in a good spot, man. Like, and I always say, like, if you want to get into wrestling or you want to get back into wrestling, the best time to jump in is the Royal Rumble because, like, you get to see pretty much everybody. You get to see a bunch of people interact with each other. Like, they explain the storylines. So if you're looking to get into WWE, I would recommend
the Rumble. The
Rumble being like your jumping in point, and we're bringing back our Royal Rumble pool for the 6th consecutive year. So look for that in the next couple of weeks. If you haven't done the pools with us before, you can win a swag package.
Swag package.
Basically, all you gotta do is just enter with us. Let us know that you want to be part of it. We'll assign you a number. When the Royal Rumble comes around, if the wrestler that comes out at the number that you're assigned wins the match, then you win the pool. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
That's a fact. All right. let's get into some quick hits before we get up out of here. Deion Sanders was named the Sports Illustrated Sport Person of the Year. Shout out to them Buffs, although it's going to be interesting seeing how next year looks for them. There were some remarks about players being selfish and things of that nature on that team this past year, but we shall see.
Pots and kettles.
The college football playoffs are set. We have Michigan and Alabama in the Rose Bowl, and then Washington and Texas in the Sugar Bowl. And of course, all the discourse around this was the fact that FSU did not make it into the Final Four, although they were a Power 5 conference team that went undefeated. And they were penalized because their starting quarterback got hurt. And the piece of that just made me be like, this sucks. The starting quarterback of FSU tweeted out, I wish that I broke my leg earlier so that people would have seen that this team was more than just one quarterback, because they got penalized for not having a quarterback. That's what it really came down to.
I feel like they would get smacked.
Yeah, people. That's what they were scared of. So
don't let one of these teams get blown out.
I mean, wasn't that last year with TCU where they and then there's a blowout and everybody was like, well,
they got smoked, boy. Yeah.
But for ages, I've been saying like a 4-team playoff field is too small. So them going to 12, this being the last year of it being 4, they're going to 12 next year. It sucks for all the guys on FSU who were looking forward to this season competing for a championship, and there's going to be seniors who are leaving who won't have the opportunity next year, and who knows how good the team will be next season. So like, I understand why FSU and their fans and other college football fans are upset about that. And it's just another thing for me where I'm like, this is why we needed a bigger field to begin with. So I'm happy that the 12-team field starts next year, because you can get rid of all them debates about, oh, well, if they could have made it, they could have beat Bama, and Michigan was scared to play Bama, but they would have wanted to play FSU. So like next year, 12 teams, hey, we gonna see. And I think this year, from what I've read, because I'm not gonna act like I be sitting here watching college football often, is that this was a year where there was like 6 or 7 teams at the top where you're like, these teams are all pretty good. And normally you don't have as many teams where you're like, all of these teams can be championship contending teams. And it just shook out this way that FSU didn't make it, which is unfortunate.
Like, I get it because they are the best conference, but it is annoying that the SEC seems to be just gifted a spot every year.
Yep.
Because if ain't Bama, it's Georgia.
Huh?
So because if ain't Bama, it's Georgia.
Yep.
Yeah. Or LSU or whoever. You know what I mean? Like, it's always going to be an SEC team, and it seemed like this year was finally, the perfect storm where, you have Michigan was undefeated, you got Washington was undefeated, you got FSU was undefeated, and I'm forgetting somebody. Oh, Texas. And it just seemed like, oh, maybe we'll finally get an SEC free year. And they're like, nope, SEC, even a one-loss team in the SEC is better than an undefeated team somewhere else.
What if they start a quarterback? Like, come on, bro.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's money, and they know, like, having an SEC team in there is going to get you eyeballs. It's going to get you, on the ground revenue. And if it's a Florida State team that might be compromised and like it winds up being a blowout again in the national championship game or in a playoff game, you kind of got to go with the known commodity in Bama. So I get it. It sucks for FSU, although they're also retiring Jameson's number. So never. I don't feel too bad for him, but it sucks for the players there.
No, I feel it. The Heisman Trophy finalists were announced tonight. We have LSU quarterback Jaden Daniels, OSU wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr., Oregon quarterback Bo Nix, and Washington quarterback Michael Penix Jr. Shout out to Marvin Harrison Jr., a receiver. Top 4 finalists. I always like the skill position players being in there. Just give him a shout out.
Go ahead. I was going to say, I think he's probably the most talented college football player. Like, quarterback and then position players are like, it feels hard to kind of compare the two, but like, how cold you gotta be as a wide receiver to be of Heisman Trophy finalists, and I think like
Yep.
pound for pound, skill for skill, like he's so good. So crisp route runner, fast, great.
That's who the Bears should target.
Who, Harrison?
If they want to get another weapon.
The Bears might have 2 top 5 draft picks.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking with Ken. Like, bro, like even if y'all got the number 1, I would want to trade with a team that got multiple firsts this year. Give me about 3 of them things. You have 3 first-round picks this year. I can grab another offensive lineman, another wide receiver, and if I wanted to grab a quarterback early with the earliest one, then I can, because you still gonna have Penix Jr., you're gonna have Bo Nix, you're gonna have Caleb Williams, you're gonna have old boy that's in what was it, North Carolina? Yeah, like you got at least 4 quarterbacks that are good, that are kind of vying for that same position outside of the 2, because Williams ain't even on the Heisman list no more.
USC
right, and so it's like, all right, well, you're going to have choices at quarterback this year. They could, in essence, get that number 1 or 2 pick, trade that motherfucker away, get multiple picks, and with their other top 5 pick, because they still ass, grab a good quarterback. They could do that, and then you want to lean on Justin, fine, make him your backup. That will miss you.
I mean, talking about the Jets today. I ain't got nothing to say about them. The Milwaukee Brewers have signed 19-year-old outfitter Jackson Chourio to an 8-year, $82 million contract extension that can be worth up to 142 M's over 10 years before he's even been called up to the majors.
Boy, I can't wait.
I feel like it's coming. It feels like
probably next year.
Like it's coming.
Probably next year, because I think he only played like two or 3 games in the AAA. Like, he didn't really play that many games in AAA, but this year he was just like killing everywhere he went. They said one of his best assets is he's one of the rare players that can hit opposite field home runs on the regular. You know how hard it is to hit opposite field? Your natural swing pulls the ball that way. Or if you're a lefty, he pulls it that way. For you to be able to hit the ball early enough, with enough power, opposite field consistently, my guy, that's a problem. Then they giving them fits on the bases, like they infield balls, like he running them out. They really like got to get on their horse and throw him motherfucker out. And it got to be a damn good throw to get his ass out.
So he's 5'2".
Yeah, like bro, cold. They said he might be the next 30 for 30 player. He potentially could be the next 30 and 30 player for the Brewers. I think 30 home runs, 30 stolen bases, or something like that. They say he'd be the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. Like, he could be that. Like, I've been following Chourio since we got him, and I'm like, why didn't he come up last year? But next year, no, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I feel like you don't pay somebody $82 million to sit in the minors. So
Right. He was also at the Bucks game after when the news came out about this contract being done. He in Milwaukee. Yeah, it's about to happen. So
he got his millions.
Can't wait to see it. I also saw that what's his name was at the game recently too. Craig Counsell, and I was like, people were upset. I was like, man, the man's from come on,
White Fish Bay, bro. Come on now. Well, he's from Milwaukee because White Fish Bay.
Bucks fan, fam.
Tell Mark to stop being cheap, and maybe he still be your manager like that.
Right.
Again, like I said with Harden, it's like I don't ever begrudge anybody for taking money in sports.
We gave Chourio his money.
You gave him the money so you don't have to pay him down the road. Like, and that's what I was gonna say is that you know, I get it. It's $82 million worth up to 142, but 82 guaranteed. But if they willing to give you that now, sight unseen,
they know exactly what they get.
They know exactly what they get, and they could. You taking a pay cut on the back end.
But that avoids years of arbitration for him. That avoids years of doubt. Avoids it just in case he get injured. That avoids a lot of that. Early.
Again, I get it. It's like somebody put $82 million in front of my face right now and be like, "Hey."
And you can get about 128 of it if you do good, bro. You can get about 128. Oh,
let me get that. But
that means that you're probably worth up to 200
right now.
Hey, that's the gamble there. It's like you're gonna keep betting on yourself and hope you stay healthy to get to that 200. You're gonna take what they put in front of you right now to be like, this is good enough to start, and I'm gonna keep building from here. So
and he only 19, so next time his contract is up to 27.
Yeah, 27.
Yeah, worst case scenario, he's a free agent at 29. which is when you cash in anyway. So
that's your next. That's usually most people's first big MLB contract around there.
So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, it works out for the Brew Crew. But that's going to be our show for this week. Parting words. I just want to say happy birthday to my mama. Her birthday is Friday. So
hey, happy birthday, Sepsis.
Happy birthday to my mama. Here y'all Sagittarius go. Sagittarius.
Yes, that season.
And it's also the string of, well, Aaron Rodgers is gone now, but this weekend is also the string of Wisconsin athlete birthdays. I know Yelich and Giannis' birthday is coming up. And I believe Aaron Rodgers turns 40 this weekend. So happy birthday.
Outside of AA run. That season.
You disown Aaron Rodgers from your Sagittariusness?
He should have been like a January Sagittarius or something like that. Some shit that don't even matter. Don't make some shit up. Get this nigga that out of here. How you practicing?
Dolphin sounds, Tim.
How you practicing?
Yelich's birthday is tomorrow. Oh yeah, Yelich's birthday is tomorrow. Giannis is the day after that, and then Ron, I think it's the 8th.
And mine is next week Thursday.
It sure is.
I think I want to do carry.
So from the MVP to the LVP.
Who the fuck is the LVP? Fuck is the LVP?
Valuable podcaster. No, I'm fucking.
Ain't that a bitch?
Oh no, Roger's birthday was the 2nd.
So he's already 40 now. Or he turned 39.
He's 40. Like he was out partying with Randall Cobb. No surprise there. And NY Post got a spread on his birthday.
What, his birthday?
Yeah.
Well, shout out
birthday party, I should say.
Shout out to the birthday folks, especially my mom. That's number one shout out.
That's the most important part.
Right. But we're gonna get out of here. I hope y'all enjoy the show. Tim get his love next week. We're gonna make sure we do it up for him. But this week, my mama. So we're gonna get out of here this week. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. As a reminder, please share the show, rate, review, subscribe on YouTube, drop a comment, like the video up. All of that is very helpful to us. And we get out of here. If you want to follow me on social media, you can catch me.
Wait a minute.
On Twitter, Instagram, these PSN 2K streets at Camille Monet, CamilleMonae.
At Buckburn on Twitter.
That's all you get.
Yep.
Ken socials at K Harris 216 on Twitter, at everyday_gentleman on Snapchat and Instagram.
You know what I'm gonna start doing? I'm gonna just say at technical foul for Ken when he ain't here. Like you'll find him there somewhere.
I could be for any of us, honestly.
It is linked there.
It's right there on the screen too. Like goddamn.
Everybody knows that.
That's true. And it's your boy TIMKINZ, the number 3, aka Ass Ketchum, aka Mr. Give It To Me. Dilly.
Peace out, y'all. We appreciate y'all tuning in as always. Y'all be safe. Take care of yourself. It's gonna be a little warm in Milwaukee end of this week. We're gonna get some 50s. So yeah. Hey, beware. Be well, everybody. This weather is that yo-yo stuff. Be well. But we out of here.
There's something.